Confused about brand strategy? Well, let's clear things up for you. Hey YouTube, I'm Ethan and today's video is about, drumroll please, branding strategy. So first let us define what a brand is. Your brand is not your logo. Your brand is the story that people tell to themselves and to other people about your business. It is the story that they believe about you, what they think and how they feel when they see your logo. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at what Google's first logo was. Strategy, then, is a plan to achieve goals that you've set out. Strategy is a roadmap to your success. Like imagine what the British government has done with this whole Brexit thing and just do the exact opposite. So why do we want to use brand strategy? There are several reasons, but briefly let's just go over a few of the main ones. Number one, you can increase your conversion rates as this story unfolds and people start to trust it and people are buying for the story. You can now sell your products at higher margins and your sales conversions for your website will be higher. Number two, you create loyal customers and that equals more upsales plus much more return customers. And then they start to spread your word. They become your evangelists. They become your biggest assets, your hardcore fans, your most powerful marketing machine. Number three, you sell based upon emotion, based upon the story instead of based on the features and what it can do. You increase trust in your brand, which makes it easier for you to do business with other people and for you to sell directly to your consumers. And longevity, a brand will last much longer than a single product. So you'll be able to sell many products over many years to many different people. So how does one go about doing brand strategy then? So first we start with you and why you started your business. What is your purpose? This is like your business mission statement. What value are you trying to bring into the world? This is going to be the heart of it, so very important for you to know this and get this right. And it's not about making money, it is more about the value that you're trying to deliver into the world. Next we look at your goals, what you're trying to achieve in your business, where you're trying to get to. Your goals are different to your why. Your goals are the target. They're where you're aiming. Your why is like that drive that pushes you towards that target. Then we look at your competition. Because every Google needs a Bing, which happened to do over $5 billion of revenue last year. Not too shabby, is it? Lots of old people don't know it's not Google, and those old people also buy a lot from adverts. They are all easy sales. We look at what story your competition is telling, who their target audience is, how they're positioning themselves, and we need to understand this so we can shape your story to stand out from theirs. We then will look at what your audience wants to believe, who they are, what is their psychographics, which is more important than their demographics, but also their demographics. Who are they? What do they want in life? What do they feel? What do they want to believe? We come up with how you want these people, these target audience, how do you want them to feel when they interact with your business? What emotion are you trying to deliver into them? We then take all of these components and we build one powerful story connecting them together. At the heart of that story is where your why meets your customer's beliefs. And then the framing and the positioning of it is dependent on the other factors. And as a bonus, as an extra step you can go is how do you increase trust in your brand?
Okay, trust fall. Ready, set, go.
What trust factors can you deliver to people? Because again, trust is the number one, the most important thing when it comes to selling. If they do not trust you, they will not buy from you. So what happens next? When you define your story, your brand, what do you do next? How do you apply it? Maybe tell it to everybody that comes into contact with you. Like when you've got the flu, suddenly everybody around you has it too. And no, not really. Well, a little bit, but do not tell them but show them through your actions. Actions speak far louder than words. More doing, less speaking. Articulate your story only then when your actions back up what you are saying. You will still need to articulate your story at some point because people won't be able to come up with the words themselves. They won't be able to express the story that you were trying to tell if you leave them to do it themselves. Give them those words. Give them your story. But the words aren't as important as the feeling, and the feeling only comes through your actions. When you repeat those actions of this story, that is where your gut instinct is formed. The words are just an easy way for it to spread. Then, tell your story often. Tell it over and over and over and over and over again. Through your actions more than your words. Sneeze your flu germs all over them. Make it contagious. Make it infectious. So people will go out and spread it themselves. Plan your actions. Don't just leave it to chance. Think about what you were doing, why you were doing it, and then how can you do those actions to show your story. And then let people see it. You don't want to make it fake. You don't want to be fake in your actions. They have to be genuine. They have to be true to who you are. That's why the why of your story, when we were forming your story, is so important. Because if it's not true, if it's not authentic, people will notice that and it will feel and come across as fake or desperate and clinging for attention. So it has to be true. It has to be authentic. But once it is there, show those actions and plan, create things to show those actions. Plan how you will act to live out your story. Then, after your audience has heard your story many times, they will start to attach that story in their minds and in their gut. And when they start to believe it too, now you have a brand. So, some bonus tips to throw in there with your brand strategy is to monitor your fans. Listen to what they are saying, what stories they are telling about you, if any. And plan ways to do this without asking them directly, because if you ask them, they will give you a distorted view. You need to be able to take their pulse without them knowing. Are they telling the story that you want them to? Are they feeling the way that you want them to? If not, perhaps you need to change your communication efforts or change something in there to pull or push them to closer to what you want them to believe. Continue to do this over time and make sure your brand, your story, is staying on track. You don't want it to go off rails. You don't want to cement the wrong story in their mind, because if it becomes fixed in there, it is very hard to remove. Once somebody has made their mind up about you, it is very difficult to change their mind. So make sure you are controlling that story. All businesses can do this, big and small, including you. Choose your story and tell it often. So when I ask somebody about your brand, they tell me exactly what you want me to believe.